Erin Hobson with Rhinebeck School of Music, and if you're watching this video, maybe you want to know a little bit more about my Sip N Strum ukulele night at Tousey Winery in Claremont. Basically, I'm your host, Erin Hobson. I have been teaching guitar for 23 years and ukulele more recently in the last maybe 7 years. And I am co-owner of Rhinebeck School of Music in the Astor Square in Rhinebeck, New York. And I started this event because I have a lot of adult students who maybe they're kind of at the level where they've learned some of their basic chords and some basic songs, but they wanted to play with other people and really get better at that. So I kind of started this event just to get some basic chord charts together of some really basic fun songs. And what this event will really do, like if you just know some of your basic chords, it will really help you over that hump of being able to switch from chord to chord, because it's really going to force you to play in time with other people. You know, and maybe you're at the level where you know some basic chords and, you know, we start a song and you're not going to be able to make every chord change, or you're going to fumble, or you're going to, you know, mess up. And that's all good. This is like the most casual environment. I mean, we're in a private tasting room in the back of Tousey Winery. So there's nobody at the bar to make fun of us or laugh at us or look at us. We're only the people who paid for the event are in the room. For $30, you get a glass of wine of your choice, and you get a book of 8 songs that I personally tailor to the event. I do take requests if they're easy enough, and I think everybody can hang with the chord changes. So basically, I get there at 6:30, even though the event starts at 7. And I'm there for any questions or if people need help with anything. I have a tuner, and I bring that around if people need help tuning their instrument. We do have rental ukuleles, so maybe you know a little bit about, you know, playing, but maybe you don't own a ukulele, you don't have a ukulele to bring the event. You can just tell me that. I can bring one for you to borrow. And essentially, when you come in, I have on the table this, which is a reference chord chart of all your basic open chords that you may need to refer to if you're still a beginner and you're not really sure what chord is which. And a lot of these we don't even do. We don't do any of these bar chords, like C minor. We don't do any of the scary ones. We do all the really basic ones. You know, you probably need to know like maybe 10 or 12 chords to get you through the night. So for your major chords, you'll need to know C, you'll need to know G, you'll need to know D, maybe E, A, and F for your major chords. For your minor chords, sometimes we do E minor, we do A minor, we do D minor, very once in a while, maybe I've done G minor. And for like a weird chord, sometimes I've thrown in the B flat chord, which is this one. But they're all pretty easy shapes to grab. We're not doing any crazy, like, you know, bar chords like the C minor or the B minor or the bar D where you extend your pinky. Unless you're at that level where you want to do that, you can do that. Oftentimes, if I know someone's more advanced and I think that they might be bored with the material, I write on their chart like a more advanced strumming pattern for them to do, or a picking pattern for them to do if the song warrants it, or I tab out a melody line. So it really depends on you as an individual, and I try to take into account all of that, but mostly I make it very basic for people, and if we want to add things on, we can. There's some, maybe you want to brush up on your dominant 7 chords. Occasionally we have C7, G7, A7, D7. But if you don't know dominant 7 chords, remember you can always play your major chord instead. So if it's a G7, you can just play a G. If it's a C7, you can just play a C, etc. So I'm going to show you a basic chart. This is what you will expect at Sip N Strum. This is how I chart the tunes out. This is left over from our Christmas Sip N Strum, Run Run Rudolph. So here's, you know, I always write the chord over the lyric line. These slash marks indicate strums. So 4 strums on C to 4 strums on F to 8 strums on C, etc. So just quarter, I write out the basic quarter note strum And if anybody, I can show the more advanced strum if people want to know that. So it starts really basic, but if anybody has questions or wants to do anything more complicated, we can. Sometimes if I feel like maybe not everybody's going to know these dominant 7 chords, I write them on the actual paper so you don't have to go looking for them. But again, you can just ignore that as a beginner and just play a D instead of a D7 or a G instead of a G7. It's really up to you. You know, this is supposed to be fun and it's supposed to be for everybody. And, you know, like I said, sometimes we'll play a song and maybe you can't even make it through a couple chords, but the next one you can. And that's okay. Some people stop and they just start singing, and that's okay. It's really just whatever level, and no one's going to laugh, no one's going to judge, no one's going to care. It's just, we're all going to be having a good time. So it's a very casual, really fun environment. And I'm going to be putting together a series of little basic ukulele tutorials for anyone who wants to just kind of get into the super basics of playing the ukulele. And maybe we'll see you at an event soon.